What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk. No, I know you guys. I haven't seen you guys in a couple of weeks. I My mom went home to be with the Lord this past weekend, and so my family and I have been kind of arranging and dealing with that. But we know that she's with somebody who loves her more, way more than we do. So we heal daily. But nonetheless, we are back and we are ready to rock. As usual, we have an amazing guest on. We have Miss Denita Gibbs on. She's an anointed artist, anointed minister, anointed businesswoman, and just an all-around hustler, a fashionista, you name it. And she just had a birthday. Is that right?
Yesterday.
Absolutely. So we're gonna wish her a happy birthday. Um, for those of you who may not be familiar with Miss Denita and her movement, I'm gonna give her a second to kind of reintroduce herself and keep and inform everybody about who she is and everything that she has going on. With that being said, you got the floor, Miss G.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. I hope you got a good Friday. I'm Denita Gibbs from Birmingham, Alabama. But I reside in Tennessee. I have seven brothers and sisters, came out of a really big family from the down country, Birmingham, Alabama, where we have love catfish, we love soul food, greens, macaroni and cheese, cornbread. You know how we down south people, love it. We love to eat and stuff like that. And we love to eat good. But yeah, grew up in the church. I'm the only one in my family that sings. And that's weird because out of all seven of us, I'm the only one that sings and stuff. But I knew that I know, right? You would think, you have interviews with people and they'd be like, "Oh, I know you got it from your mama or your daddy." But I'm like, listen, nobody in my family. I'm the only. But I knew it was something different about my life. My mother and father, they would like you remember those big screen TVs? They look like a square that used to sit on the
Yeah,
floor. We used to have
yeah.
one. We used to have one of those at home, right?
Mhm.
And so we had it downstairs in the garage. And so like on the weekends, my dad and stuff would let us like watch movies and stuff. And so I would go downstairs, like my brothers and sisters, they would already be down there. So I'll go downstairs, right, Mike, and I was like 12 years old. I'll go downstairs and I'll be like, I don't want to watch movies. I don't want to watch movies with y'all. I said, I just don't want nothing to get in my spirit. I was 12 years old. And I was
Mm.
12 years old thinking like that. I was like, something is wrong with me. So I went upstairs in my room and I started praying on my knees. And I knew it was just something different about me. So that's a little bit, that's the start of who I am and Miss Denita Gibbs. I don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
I don't know if you remember, but the last time we spoke, you were attending Bishop Rance Allen's
yeah,
homegoing service. You were actually doing the interview from your hotel.
yeah,
Um, and we had talked about rescheduling,
yeah,
to go forward. So
yeah.
I thank you. First off, I want to thank you for agreeing to come back on. I really appreciate it because I know that you have a lot going on, including a new single
Yes.
that you are promoting called Redeemed.
Hmm.
So let's talk about that. What's the origin of redeemed and what does redeemed mean to you? Like what does that how does that resonate with you?
Well, let me tell you how it started. I got with my one of my cohorts that I work with in the industry, and I told him, I said, "Listen, I want a fast, upbeat song," and I said, "Don't send me no junk because the last," I said, "the last producers you've been sending me, they've been look the music and stuff. It has not been good." I said, "Whatever you send me next, it has to be good." And then he sent me some songs and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, it's okay. And then he sent me another song by Sean Scales, and I was like, who is this? And so he told me, he was like, he's a producer. They need to just listen. I said, okay. So I listened to it. I was like, okay, this is cool. I like this. So the song was already written, the song was already produced, but basically I just had to go in because I'm a writer myself.
Hmm.
A writer. I'm a great writer. So I listened to the song and I talked to the producer and I was like, "Hey, I love this song, but can I just add my own words?" And he was like, "Yeah, just go ahead." So
Hmm.
being a great writer and stuff, nothing came. I was like, "God, what is wrong? And am I having a writer's block?" I was up at 2 and 3 in the morning, like sometime 4, and nothing came to my spirit, nothing came to my mind. And I was
Right.
like, this is so crazy. But it was not meant for me to change the words in the song that he wrote. And the
Okay.
song is called Redeemed. So, he said, so Denita, tell me a little bit about your story. So I told him, I was like, this is gonna be so weird, but it's gonna be so funny. I started telling him about my story, like before the pandemic started, like right when it started, actually, my husband left me.
Wow.
And I was like, he came home one day and then he said, Denita, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I said, what? And I thought he was kind of playing. He's like, I just don't love you. And so the next day he left.
Mm.
I was just broken. I was like, what did I because I had a lot of questions that were unanswered because I had no inkling. He worked on the road. We rarely saw each other. It was just I was a committed, faithful wife, and I thought I did everything right. So I just asked him, I was like, later on down the line, I said, was it another woman? I mean, what was it? I said, whatever it is, we can just work it out. He was like, no, I don't want to work it out with you. And that the pandemic told on a lot of us because, whoever had a side chick or a girlfriend, you had to cut that out because we 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 became locked in, right? Remember we came.
Right. Right. Right.
You had to choose between one. I'm gonna choose between his girlfriend or I'm gonna choose between my wife. So he chose
Right.
chose the girlfriend. So he
Mm.
had another woman. So I was like, wow. And then a couple of months later, he sent me some divorce papers in the mail, and I signed them, and we got divorced. So I'm going somewhere. I want y'all to listen to me and where I'm going.
Hey, do
So
your thing. Go ahead.
So he sent me some divorce papers in the mail, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is really real. Like, I can't believe this." So I was really hurt and broken. So I was telling the Sean Scales, I was telling him he's a producer, the one that produced the song. And so he was like, Denita, wow. So he said, guess what? And I said, what? He said, I went through the same thing with my wife, with my
Wow.
the same we had the same stories. And then the words in the song is saying if you have to walk alone, Jesus is gonna make you strong. Like, I've been redeemed, I've been brought back. I'm not gonna look back. I've been set free, I've been redeemed. So that's where the song came from. And I was like, that's why God didn't meant for me to rewrite that song, because both of us had the same exact stories and we went through the same thing. So that's where it came from.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. And you know what? You brought up an interesting point earlier when you first began, when you said that you told who is it, your manager or your NR,
Yeah.
that the music that they had been sending you was not good and that you
Uh,
couldn't rock
like,
with.
oh,
Now, that seems kind of funny coming from a Christian artist,
uh,
but how hard is it to, because I know it's probably not hard for you now, but just being a Christian artist and just the whole aura of being a Christian artist, you actually have to say that a gospel song is not good, or it's not produced, or what have you. Like, how is that a challenge?
well,
Because I mean, in and of itself, the song is talking about God, is giving praise to God. You know
I,
what I mean?
like,
So is that a hard thing, or?
it's not a hard thing, because if you're an artist and you're known for putting out hits and you're known for putting
Mhm.
out really good music, you don't want to create something or put out something that's not going to be good. So
Right,
I
right.
I don't care. I am a gospel artist, but I'm an all around gospel artist. I like to do rock. I like to do, a little bit, but gospel. But you know what I'm saying. I like to
Hmm.
mix mine up. So it has to be quality, and it has to sound good. So
Right.
yeah.
think that you know, again, that when you're, especially you're in the Christian genre of music,
Mhm.
it comes with I guess certain expectations, like I would imagine. Like I said, these songs are about God, and it just seems funny that I could almost hear the conversation in my mind, like, what is this?
Yeah,
I can't rock to this.
it was
But
like that, but no, no, mm-mm. Yeah.
um tell me this. Looking at your career in its current state, right? Where
Mhm.
you are currently. When you look back on when you started,
Mhm.
were you ready?
No,
Or do you feel like there was a lot of things that you did you feel like you were blindsided a lot in the process? Or do you think that you were pretty much equipped when I'm talking about when you first started?
when I first started, I'm gonna take that back. I was ready because when I first got started, um, I went through a lot of things in my life,
Hmm.
and when the things that I went through in my life, like my outlet would be singing. So every time I would hit the stage or hit the churches, I mean, God would use me in a mighty way, in a mighty way. And I didn't understand then. I didn't understand, like, man, a lot of people are really getting touched and stuff. And I said, what am I doing?
Hmm.
But see, I didn't understand what I was doing because of the spiritual side. But then,
Right.
I had to grow to learn. Like my parents, they taught us how to love Jesus, but we had to learn how to love Jesus ourselves. But the trials and tribulations, it um it comes with the anointing. The anointing destroys the yoke. The
Right.
anointing comes through trials. The anointing comes through tribulations. The oil of God comes through by saying yes to God. And when you say yes, that means all hell in your life literally breaks. And that's what I can true honestly say. That's like a whole nother show that just to
Right.
tell you like some of the things that I experienced in my life. But I would say that I have been ready. I've been ready for the, I've been ready then and I'm ready now. I might not be where I want to be, but I'm in God's timing and
Right.
I'm just flowing with him.
Right. That's awesome. So is this a part of a full project, or is this like a standalone? I'm talking about Redeemed.
Oh,
Is that a
I
standalone single or?
put out a full project. I want to do. I just want to keep dropping singles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we live in an ADH world. Everybody's
Hmm.
attention span is really short. So
Right.
I don't think people have time to go through. I don't know about everybody else, but when I like now, when I listen to somebody's album, it gets boring, and I go through different songs and stuff. I just give me
Hmm.
one song so I can marinate on that, and then we'll go from there. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Um, I guess I'm still old school. Like I still like CDs. I still like um reading the package to see who produced and who wrote and all that.
Yeah,
But with, like you said, with the current state, you don't really get the opportunity to do that anymore. So I guess you kind of adjust.
yeah,
So to answer your question, I mean, I'm flexible. I'll just say that.
yeah.
I don't mind listening to like somebody that's saying something that really has something going on.
Hmm.
Um, but I also enjoy creating playlists too. You get what I'm saying? So you put a bunch of songs that resonate with you.
Yeah. I,
Um, together, like when I'm in the gym, or
uh-huh.
or I'm at work, I'm just sitting at my desk, or just chilling at the house, you know what I mean? Like, so I mean, I'm flexible when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who if I was to go into your uh musical vault, I guess. What would I hear? What are you listening to right now?
Man, commission, the old commission,
Mm,
Winans, James Moore, Daryl Coley. The old Yolanda Adams, I love. I love her, all of her old stuff. I didn't say the new stuff. I
Hmm.
love all of her old stuff. Um, let's see, some new artists that I've came to know. Let's see who else. I like Doe Jones. Um, um, Nakia. Me and Nakia, we're friends now. I love her new single. Um, what else? Um, I think that's about, well, when you ask me that, I love a lot of music, so that's kind of a hard question. Andy Manito, I love him. I love gospel rap. I love all of, like, gospel
Yeah,
worship, Christian. I love it all. Yeah, I just love good music.
yeah. I'm like that too. I like that too. I have a core. I kind of have a core though. I have like I'm a big, 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 big Fred Hammond person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like Isaac Curry.
Oh yeah.
There's an artist. Her name. She's out of D.C., Maryland. Her name is Brittany Wright. I really, really dig her.
So yeah.
Um, Nakia, who I just came to know, recently. Not only is her music dope, her testimony is dope. I don't know if you've ever spoken to her or whatever,
Yeah, I heard
but
about her.
she has an awesome testimony as well.
Yeah.
Who else? Uh, I like Erica Campbell.
Yeah.
I like Kiara Sheard. I'm a big Kiara Sheard fan.
Yeah. I love her too. She's the.
Um, yeah, Jokia, just like you said, Jokia is
Mm-hmm.
dope. Casey J, Jonathan McReynolds. List goes on and on, just like you.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go all night, but yeah, it's I still long for the entire for the complete projects. Like I like anticipating somebody's project coming out and stuff, and seeing where I can get it, and like I said, looking at the credits and that
Mm-hmm.
type of thing.
Yeah.
But like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be
Yeah.
move with the time.
Yeah.
But who are you most surprised to find out was aware of your music or was a fan of your music? Who are you most surprised to find out?
I'll say pastors and stuff, because I'm so eclectic, and I'm kind of in
Hmm.
between. And then, when I like post, I'm still young and stuff. And, like
Yeah.
if I post a picture with like one shoulder out and stuff, just, and I learned that pastors listen to my music, and I'm like, wow, that's dope, because I'm still, I'm kind of hip. So I just say the pastors. Yeah, I'll say
Wow.
pastors. Yeah.
Also an interesting point. Christian music and imaging.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a challenge is that for you? Because I know there were a couple of instances that we heard about, like there was a picture that Erica Campbell posted a couple years ago. Now she was, fully
Right.
covered, but the dress she had on just really accentuated her figure. And people kind of really gave her a lot of flack for that, even though it was literally up to her neck. You know what I mean? You can't help, you know,
Right.
how God made you, so to speak. But how much of that is a challenge for you? Like, how do you? Is that something that you keep in mind? Is when you are talking about taking pictures and doing promo and even performances and things of that nature. Has that been an issue for you?
Well, by me, like, I love fashion, and I'm sure Erica Campbell does too. And she have fashion stylists. So
Hmm.
I think when she took the picture, that it wasn't intended on, hey, just look at my body. It was just like a fashion.
Right,
But
right,
will say this: I do have, like, if I have to sing at a church, and I have a shape too. I don't, sing in front of the people with real tight clothes on, because I know they're not going to listen to me. They're
right.
gonna be distracted. So
Hmm.
and I sometimes I have my moments. I'm like, you know what? I feel like looking cute today, and I'm gonna look cute. But but then I have to remember, because I am a praise and worship leader at the church that I work for. But I have to remember that the people that are coming in, they're broken, and they're looking for sincere worship. And if I can't, if I come in distracted, they won't get it. They'll be focusing on what I have on. They'll be focusing on, my body and stuff. So I get it, but I like, as far as her, I love her, Erica Campbell. I think it was a fashion statement. Hey, I wear body dresses too, and I take pictures on them. And I think we're ladies, and we like to look cute, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just that's always interesting, an interesting dynamic because it has to be a challenge sometimes because you're you're constantly being put in a box.
hmm
You have to look a certain way. You have to sound a certain way. You can't do too much secular things, you know what I mean? Like the Kirk Franklins of the world, you know what I'm saying? They highly criticize. But it's like, but then at the same time, you tell me that God can do everything and nothing's impossible for God, and God, orders the steps of the righteous and all these things. But then when the opportunities come, it seems as though that all goes out the window. How do you feel about that?
I f-
What do you think about that?
I feel like you never know what people are going through. You
Hmm.
People have faced. So I think that, because I used to be so judgmental, like myself.
Hmm.
Like, man, just they need to stop with all this. I just feel like you know, by the way that the time that we're living in, like, everything is changing and you have to change with the time. The
Hmm.
Bible says that he that winneth a soul is wise.
Right.
So if you get up and you got on like some tight shorts, and God will still anoint you. He will. But as far as the
Hmm.
Kirk Franklin situation, like I said, we're all human. And he just got caught at a bad moment.
Hmm.
I hate that for him. It is what it is, but that's the life that he was living, like when he wrote Silver and Gold. But it wasn't on.
Hmm.
So
Right.
it might be new to us, but it's not new to him. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Hmm.
That's how I feel about that. So we need to take our mouth off people, because you never know what they're facing. It was a situation that he was going through with his son, and his
Hmm.
son got mad and recorded. So he lived that life. Like, we didn't see that life, but hey, he's been living that life in the private. So it is what it is. That's how I feel about that.
Can I? And this may sound like a funny question, but um, based off what you were just saying, how people can be very judgmental
hmm
or whatever, but is it possible for a Christian artist to be too successful?
Um, it depends on who the artist is. I think you can have the both the best worlds if you know how to, you can live right, you can live holy, and still be successful. You
Hmm.
still, so I think it's possible for artists to have, to have both the best worlds without compromising. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You don't have to compromise to,
Absolutely.
yeah, you don't have to do what the world does.
Absolutely.
And when I say the world does, like, when we see secular artists and R&B artists, what are they doing on their videos? They have their cigars out, they have the cigarettes, and they have their half naked, and they're doing a lot of, but we don't do that. We Christian artists,
Hmm.
we are trying to pull the world. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's the life that you live, and the life that you preach about, even on social media, what you post, because you can post.
Wow.
You can sit up and post scriptures all you want to, and then you can be a real demon.
Hmm.
You you have to look at it like that. It's just like a friend on social media to have people thinking like you're something when you're really not that person.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
When you bring in the pandemic and the racial injustice and what you just confessed to us concerning your spouse,
Yeah.
your former spouse,
Uh-huh.
um, how has that affected if any, if at all,
Uh-huh.
how has that affected your creative process? Just generally, not just music, but just just the whole Denita Gibbs
Okay.
movement. How has it altered how you move around, how you deal with people, how you create music, how you create business opportunities?
It has
How has that affected you, if at all?
affected me. Like my ex-husband was white, and I want y'all to hear me. I would never date another white man again.
Wow. Okay.
He was white, and and it's so funny that it was a white man in my inbox, and he tried to talk to me, and I felt so bad for him because see, my ex-husband made it bad for the other white men. So
Wow.
so I really like I just look, I just brushed him off so bad, and I think I'm thinking about that now, and I feel so bad the way I did that man.
Hmm.
So I was like, my ex husband made it bad for all white men. Look, I don't want to. It's like I don't want to talk to any more white men. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
And then it's just by me going through this. When you go through something traumatic, a traumatic divorce, and from your spouse of 9 years, it's traumatic. It
Hmm.
can be traumatic if you let it, but I'm good now. It has not affected my creativity. It has not moved me. I'm still in my right mind. I'm still in my right space. So I've become more creative because I have more to write about my experiences
Wow.
been through. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's very, very, very awesome, and you absolutely caught me off guard. You absolutely caught me off guard with that, but I appreciate your transparency in this moment because that can't be that can't be very easy.
Yeah.
Um, so you're based out of Nashville
Yes. And I'm from Birmingham.
now?
I'm based out of Nashville.
Okay, so what's the music scene like in Nashville, the Christian music scene? What prompted you to leave Alabama and go to Tennessee?
Well, actually, my ex husband, he wanted to move here.
Okay,
So
okay.
I was, I wanted to move out of Birmingham for a long time, but it
Hmm.
didn't happen my way. It didn't happen the way I wanted it to. So I ended up staying there longer than I wanted to. And so he
Hmm.
says, Anita, I'm ready to move. And both of us are just ready to move. And he was like, just find us something in Nashville. And by me, I knew that it was the music city. And I knew that people was going to think that, oh, Danita just going to Nashville because it's she going for her music career. No,
Right.
that was not true. I came here because my ex-husband wanted me to come here. So, but the music scene here is, you know, um, we have a lot of it's some great people that write here, write songwriters, and um, they get together and they write in music and writing groups, and that's something that I never experienced before. And when I lived,
Hmm.
so that's new to me, and I love it, and I love to get invited to them, and it's just being connected to the right people.
Right. Absolutely.
Uh huh.
I believe that particularly in this time in the last year or two that that's really like the name of the game, collaboration. All those times where you're over here, I'm over there, that person is back there. Those days are over, and so now I feel like people are more willing to come together
Yeah, they
to
are.
create things,
Yeah.
and so I think that's really really dope.
Hmm.
So for me, collaboration is the name of the game.
Yeah.
Do you write for others, or at this point, or are you just kind of focusing on what you're doing right now?
Yes, I have. I have wrote for others and still doing it. Yeah.
Okay. So is it funner writing for, or easier? Is it easier to write for other people or for yourself?
I say both. It depends on the mood and the situation. Yes.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, what's your most what I can't even talk. What's your most memorable studio session that you've had writing for somebody else?
Oh, when I wrote with people and songs, oh my God, it was amazing. I had so many great moments writing with them and in my writing groups, and I say with them, with people and songs.
Nice, nice,
Mhm.
nice. So, what do you want people to get from listening to your music?
I want them to get
And
transparency of me. I'm a very transparent person. I really feel like a lot of artists, they don't, they put on a facade in,
Hmm.
in front of imperfect people. I want them to
Okay.
feel, I want them to feel my heart. I want them to know that you don't have to be somebody that you're not. I want them to feel like my life when I open my mouth. My life,
Hmm.
my life tells a story. That's what I want them to feel.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So outside of the music realm, what else are you working on if you want to share?
Oh, I'm working on some heavy business deals, and I can't share that.
Oh, okay.
I just said, what did you say? Denita is a what? Business woman, and I that
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Absolutely.
We got some stuff in line, and I'm just waiting for God to bring it into fruition.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Um, while we're on the subject of collaborations with secular artists, what do you what do you how do you feel about that?
I would love to. I think that'll be dope. Yeah. I would love to collaborate with a secular artist.
Okay.
I think
Who
I
who
think we learn from each other.
mm, yes, and that's been another point of contention in the industry, with the whole Snoop Dogg, he did the gospel
Yeah.
thing, and here and there you have Christian artists collabing. Like I saw the one with Tasha Cobb and Nicki Minaj, and different things like that. So you're open to doing those types of collaborations.
Yes. I surely am. Because how are we gonna witness?
Mm,
How are we gonna tell people about Jesus if we continue to stay in a box?
right,
Yeah.
right. Wow.
Hmm.
So with that being said, um, who would you who is your dream collaboration, secular and Christian?
Let's see. Secular. Oh my goodness, that's a really hard question. Uh, because so many. I would love to collaborate with Lettucey. I think she's
Okay.
amazing. Um,
Hmm.
I would love to collaborate with Joe. He can sing. Um, on the Christian side, um, oh, but he's dead and gone. I would have loved to collaborate with James Moore because
Mm,
he's oh my goodness, can nobody can compare to his amazing voice. Um, let's see. I love Gene Moore. Gene Moore is amazing.
mm.
Um, let's see. Vincent Bohannon. Um,
I don't think I know that. But,
he's a choir guy. Ricky Dillard, just to kind of sing in the choir.
hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
oh my gosh. That's such a hard question because I'm from coming from an artist and we love so many so many artists. Um, CC Winans, I love her.
Wow.
I love CC Winans. I love Tanya Baker.
Okay.
Tanya Baker's amazing. Brittany Wright, I love her.
Hmm.
There's so many artists. Um, Marvin Sapp, I would love to collaborate with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and of course, Fred Hammond. Who wouldn't want to collaborate with him?
Right. Right.
So
Um,
it's so many artists, but those are the ones that's kind of like in the top of my brain. Yeah.
I gotta say, if I was still doing the music, I would say on the secular side, I would love to do it something with Tank.
Oh yeah. Oh, you used to do music?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
yeah. Um, I did a project back like 2011.
Okay.
I write and I do, and I've gotten into producing as I've kind of phased out of the performance side. I've been into
Yeah.
producing and stuff. Um, I would say Tank on the secular side, and on the Christian side, I gotta say Fred. Fred is like the A1 number one.
A1.
person. Yeah. Um, but like we said earlier, there are a bunch of others that that I admire, and
Yeah.
I absolutely wouldn't mind. Even Nakia, like she's super dope too. Like just that I believe in me. I love that song. I just love her. I love her style. Um,
And Denita
but
Gibbs.
yeah, I gotta be definitely Fred, definitely Fred. But but yeah.
And
So, huh?
Denita Gibbs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Denita, absolutely. Absolutely. That goes without saying.
I
um
don't think he caught.
so hmm?
I was like, I don't think he caught that. I said Denita Gibbs and Denita Gibbs.
uh,
Yeah.
I didn't think that that needed to be said. See, that goes some things you just know. You don't got to say it because you already know. But yeah, as far as so are you uh an independent artist
I
or
am.
are you signed?
No, I'm not signed.
Okay.
I'm independent.
So is that by choice or would you be open to signing a deal or doing some type of,
I'm very,
business with a record label?
if it's a good deal, I'm very open.
Hmm.
Yeah. But for now,
That's awesome. So tell me, what have you found to be the most common misconception that people have about you?
mm, the most common is, oh, I know. Um, I think when people don't know me, they'll assume that I'm stuck up, but
Mm,
I'm very nice. I am. Look, I'm from the South, and if you're from the South, you're automatically nice. But
okay. Okay.
I'm very nice. I'm very sweet. So, but if you don't know me, like you can get misjudged on how you dress, and when you
Mhm.
dress nice all the time, people think that oh, she stuck up, oh, she rich. You know what I'm saying? But if they really
Yeah.
get, I'm just like you. Like if you go to McDonald's, I'm going with you.
Right.
If you
Right.
eat a hamburger, I eat one with you, like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What would people be surprised to know about you?
Let's see. They'll be surprised to know that I love to eat sour ice cream. Like I don't like sweet ice cream.
Okay.
I like I like I like tangy ice cream that's really really sour. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. That's definitely something I never heard before. Um, let's change gears real quick and go back real quick. Alabama, what's the Christian music scene like there? You told me earlier that you had a very kind of eclectic style in your taste has a diverse range. So does where you're from, does Birmingham welcome that type of creativity? Is it a hotbed for that type of creativity, or is that something that you found as you branched out
As I branched out,
into the
yeah, because from when I lived in Alabama, I was strictly like a praise and worship leader. That's all I knew. But when I branched out,
Mhm.
oh, I love that. I love that. So I say when I branched out here in Nashville and I got connected to a lot of great people, and then it connected me to different states, different cities, different producers, and that's when I gleaned to different styles.
Okay. Now you brought up an interesting point. A lot of artists that I talked to um, began as praise and worship leaders, just like you said. Um, being a what's my I have a kind of a double-sided question. What's the difference between being a praise and worship leader and an artist? That's the first question. And the second question is, what has being a praise and worship leader taught you about being an artist?
First question is, a praise and worship leader is so different from being an artist. A praise
Hmm.
and worship leader, we're free to scream and do all that.
Yeah.
But then I had to learn, hey, Denita, when you get in the studio, when I was in the studio with producers, Denita, no, you can't sing like that. You cannot sing like you're singing in church. You have to sing professional. So
Hmm.
I learned how to sing all over again when I became an artist.
Wow. Wow.
That's what we're used to doing. When you're a praise and worship leader, lift your hands, open
Yeah.
your, and it's just like we're hollering, we're actually tearing our voices up. So I had
Hmm.
to learn. I literally had to learn all over again to sing in the studio.
Wow.
So I hope that answered both of your questions. Did it?
Um, I mean, if that's like like with being a praise and worship leader, what has it taught you? Has it have you gleaned certain things from being a praise and worship leader and applied it to being an artist? Like, are there any similarities? Is there anything that helps you in this mode now? As an artist versus.
Yes, you have to know. When you're a praise and worship leader, you have to know the audience. You have to
Mhm.
know, like I said, doing praise and worship, we're more free to flow. But as an artist, they give you a time slot.
Right.
Stay in the
Hmm.
time slot. They give you 3 minutes. You got to do those 3 minutes and sit down.
Hmm.
That's the difference between like being an artist and a praise and worship leader. And with the, also too becoming an artist, you have to. I've learned professionalism, the professionalism
Hmm.
of it. Besides the spiritual and besides the spiritual part, you have to be professional, and you can still be professional and anointed at the same time, and knowing how to follow directions. Because I can remember that, and I this can help somebody if you're an artist. And I don't know how many people are listening, but and when I first started, and that's me being coming from being a praise and worship leader. But when I first started being an artist, I used to go over my time. They,
Mm.
you got 3 minutes on the stage, but I would just sing, and then I start preaching after it. And like when you sing, you start exhorting. Now, come on, lift your hands. Somebody does. And then you got other artists waiting to sing after you. And that's something that I had to learn. And I got fussed at,
Right.
for the people that was trying to help me. Denita, listen, when they give you a time, you have to sing in the time, and then you have to cut off. So that's something I had to learn, come being transitioning from a praise and worship leader to an artist. So when I'm doing praise and worship on Sundays, I know how to be a praise and worship leader. But when I'm on the stage, I know how to be an artist.
Right. Right. Wow. Tell us about your church. I mean, let's shout out your church and your pastor, your leadership.
Okay, I attend Greater Christ Temple Church in Nashville, Tennessee, with Bishop Sherman Merritt, and then the church that I work for, the church that I'm a praise and worship leader at, is called New Seasons Christian Church, and it's Pastor Dwayne Lewis.
Okay, awesome.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is gonna be kind of like my last official question for you.
cool. Okay,
Um, this is a question that I ask all my guests. And
okay,
and the last time we spoke, I believe I asked you the same question, but
okay.
maybe your answer will be
Different.
different
Okay,
this time.
okay?
So I want you to just take a moment and think about it and give me the most transparent and honest answer that you can. I mean, I really don't need to tell you that, but it's part of the disclaimer, so I'm going I'm going to do that. Okay, so here's the question. What would have to happen in your life if it hasn't happened already for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like or mean to Denita Gibbs?
What would have to happen in my life in order to be successful?
In order for What would have to happen in your life if it hasn't happened already for you to consider your life a success?
Wow, that's a good question.
Thank you.
That's a really good question. I can honestly say that in order for me to be where God really wants me to be, everything happens in time. So the Bible says that um, it's a scripture that just the story in the Bible about how I forgot his name, but he was content in whatever state that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I can honestly say that I am content. But what would have to happen if I want more? I have to keep pursuing. I have to keep learning. I have to keep um, gleaning to the greats. There's somebody that you want to be connected to that's way better than you. So I want to be. I want to learn all I can learn per se. I want to be. If you hang around millionaires, what is that? What is that to you? You want to be. You want someone that to rub off on you. If you hang around broke people, you don't want to be broke all your life.
Right.
I want to hang around people and I want to learn from people that's way better than me. Hey, if I need some voice lessons, let me sit. Give me some voice lessons. I hope they answered your question. I'll say to be around people that's way more successful than me, that makes me want to be more successful, and that's working hard and being connected to the right people, and most of all, when God is ready to expose me, while we're getting ready, like on the outside, but when God is ready to expose me, then I'll say that the door will be open if it's in His will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That definitely answers my question.
Hmm.
Um, if a person want, do you accept song submissions and track submissions and
Hmm.
things of that nature?
Yeah, if they want to
You
send,
do?
they want to send me something, they can easily. It's so many ways that you can send me stuff. Look, I'm not the type of artist that's like, get in touch with my assistant. No, I'll if you DM me on Instagram or if you inbox me on Facebook, I'll get back with you, or you can email me. So if you that's I'm easy like that. You wanna submit something, just inbox it to me and we'll go from there.
Okay, y'all hear that, everybody? All the aspiring producers and writers and singers and all that. You heard it. She opened the door, so flood her inbox. Flood it, flood it, flood it, flood it. Um, in that vein, if somebody wants to get in touch with you to, maybe submit music or maybe ask a question or
Mhm.
whatever have you, how would they be able to get in touch with you?
Touch me on my website, social media. Like I said, Denita Gibbs on all of my social media platforms.
Wow. Okay, well, with that being said, I want to thank you again
Come.
for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having
Um,
me.
yeah, I really looked forward to this interview because we had one prior and it was cut short because of you had other obligations. So I was very glad that we were able to reschedule and do it. And what'd
Yeah.
you do for your birthday? I forgot to ask you. What'd
Actually
you do?
having a party on Sunday, so I'm excited about that.
You said you have a party on Sunday?
We're having one on Sunday.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Kind of chill.
Okay.
One couple of friends, they took me to lunch and stuff like that. And I went shopping. Of course,
Okay.
but yeah, that's what I did.
Okay. Let's sing happy birthday to you, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Don't laugh. Don't
I,
laugh at me.
I promise you, I won't laugh.
Uh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
Um,
to you.
oh,
Happy birthday, dear Denita.
yeah,
Happy birthday to you.
amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Boys,
Ah, well, again, I thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank
you
you.
enjoy your birthday week and all of that. And I wish you much, much blessings on everything that you have going on, the
Thank you.
single,
Thank you.
uh, the business deals that you can't talk about, and everything else
Yeah.
that you have going on. I pray for your family, um, and everything that everything that you transparently shared with us on this
Yeah.
platform. I pray God's hand continue to be upon it and give you peace to navigate through whatever issue or pain or hurt or discomfort you may have.
Thank
Pray
you.
that God keeps his hand on you. Um, and with that being said, man, I'm gonna, wish you a good night and again a happy birthday.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Okay? God bless you. Okay. That was another great episode with a great guest, Miss Denita Gibbs. Please check out her movement. Check out her song Redeemed. It's an awesome song, very awesome song. And again, her name is Denita Gibbs. And again, for all of you aspiring producers, writers, artists, um, she's waiting for you to send her some original music to collab and all that. So please, look her up again, Denita Gibbs. She's on Facebook and Instagram. Just hit her up and see what happens and let God do the rest. Um, I want to thank everybody who thought it not robbery to come on and chill with us as we, did another great interview. I thank you. Shout out to Tasha Curry. Um, and I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, it's been a couple weeks. I lost my mom, but God is encouraging me to push forward, not get over it, but to push forward. And I want to take this moment to thank everybody, all the well wishes, all the messages, all the cards, all the support, all the seeds, everything that people did to um, help me and my family through this hard time. I still feel like a part of me is missing. But I feel great to know that there are people who love me and support me and that are with me through this tough time. Um, and again, I want to thank them all. I wish I could name every single person, but I don't want to miss anybody, so I'll just say everybody, even the people that didn't reach out but just thought about me or thought about my family or just send a prayer up or just what I'm saying, hit me up on Facebook with the praying hands or sorry for your loss or your condolences. I appreciate every single one of them. I really feel like I've grown through this whole process, of grieving and mourning and really having to stand up and and grab the authority that God has given me to do things. And so it just really helped me gain more perspective on life and everything. And so, I love giving people their flowers while they're still living. I love acknowledging people for the impact that they have on my life. People might think I'm a I'm a weirdo or that's weird, but I just really think it's important to give people props for whatever impact that they had in your life, even if it was just for a very short time. Um, because we live through moments, good and bad, and then one step to the right, one step to the left, we could miss a moment. You know what I'm saying? And it's people that God sends into our life that gives us counsel, that gives us encouragement. Sometimes they give us correction and discipline, but all those things work together for the good of the person, for those who believe and those who are ultimately aspiring to do the right thing or the positive thing. And so with that being said, I just want to thank everybody who, like I said, came and hit me up, and my family members. And I just, I feel, even in this time of mourning and grieving, I feel loved. I feel supported. My church family, RCCVA. Shout out to my pastors, Pastor Ray and Danette Miller, Prophet Vicky, and Apostle Charlie Ammons. Shout out to y'all for just being more of the same. Like, this is not even before this. This is not even new. Like, this is normal. This the love and support that you give me. It's just that you gave my family and I was just normal. And I just thank you for continuously being consistent. Um, and I appreciate you. My family, my wife, my kids, my siblings, my aunts and uncles and cousins. I thank you guys for just being family. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for the time, the counsel and the talks that my elders gave me, during this time, and I just really appreciate it. And so I could go on and on, but I just want to say thank you. So with that being said, I'm gonna log off, and I will see you guys uh, next week, next Friday, with another amazing guest. Okay. Uh, you guys have a great weekend and a great night. Okay. Talk to you later. Let's take a walk.